Dude, you're running out of space to tattoo. I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm actually getting tattoos on top of tattoos.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, I just got this LLJ for XXX.
I'm going to get it. I'm working on some new ones. I've decided to go back in.
You're kind of like remixing them at this point, you know, like getting tattoos on top of tattoos.
Have you ever gotten lasered?
Yeah, once. I had like a new wife, and I had divorced my ex-wife, and she wasn't really stoked on the ex-wife's name on me.
Yeah, that seems like a problem.
Yeah, so I lasered it because it was right on my neck, and she always had to see it. And then, but that's the only time I've ever done it. There's nothing on me I really want to get rid of, where I'm like, oh, that. It's all a story to me. It all tells a story. It's like a moment in time, and I got it for a reason. But I was trying to be cool. And you know what I mean? Trying to be respectful and make her happy at the time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. She hung in there all the way to being married with another chick's name on your neck.
Yeah.
That's a good woman.
True.
But in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love tattoos, man. They're addicting.
Yeah, I love them too.
Once I figured out they didn't hurt at the age of 15, it was on. I didn't.
Yeah, it's like what people tell you. They're like, oh, it's so painful.
Yeah.
And then you get one, you're like, wait a minute.
It's not so bad.
This is like, it's kind of like a slight burn.
Yeah.
It's like,
kind of therapeutic too.
Yeah, not that bad.
Yeah.
I fell asleep while I was getting tattooed.
Same. Same. When I did my back piece, I fell asleep, and I had 2 artists working on me at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Just because I fucking hate wasting time.
Yeah.
So they did my back together. They did my head together too.
Yeah, the head's impressive. Let me see the head.
Yeah.
Let me see what that looks like. When did you get that done?
I did my head like, I don't know, 6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I had like a piece on the side of my head
Right.
that Mr. Cartoon did back in the day.
I love that guy's work.
Oh, yeah, Cartoon is such
He's
a
amazing.
legend.
He's got great shit. He is a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Even outside of tattooing, like lowrider culture.
Yeah.
He's one of the illest. But yeah, he did that, and then that kind of set it off. I always had like praying hands on the side of my head, and then I shaved my head, and I've never grown my hair out since. Because I'm like, fuck it, it's a permanent haircut, basically.
Right.
You know? But yeah.
What is up there? It's hard to see with all the shine.
I have like Virgin Mary right there.
Oh, wow.
I think I have like a rose.
You
right here
think?
with a skull. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
how you know you got a lot of tattoos. I don't know what's on my head.
I have like a transplants gas mask on the back of my head. I have one life, one chance. Yeah, and then like some writing.
Wow. Now, when you got burned, did it affect your tattoos? Did you have to tattoo over it?
Yeah, so I lost all of my tattoos on my legs.
Wow.
Yes, I lost my first tattoo ever, which was a Dag Nasty tattoo, this hardcore band, punk band that I loved forever, and a Bones tattoo, which was my nickname growing up. But I lost everything on my legs. So then they do what's called like grafting. So and I lost some tattoos from my back. So it's like a cheese grater, and they grate all of your skin off your back.
Ooh.
And my thighs, and then they staple it to you with pig cadaver.
Whoa.
And they wait for you to start healing. So I lost a lot of tattoos, and then I did like on my thighs. You can't really see. I did memorials for Lil Chris, Che, and DJ AM, who all passed away in the accident. So I put them on my legs over the grafts, so you can't really see it. But yeah, I mean, I got out pretty well, man. Like, I mean, you can kind of see it on my hand. My hand, you can see it's discolored and stuff. But for having almost 70% of my body burnt, like, you can't really tell.
That's amazing. Yeah, you can't really tell at all because you're so tattooed up. The pain of healing burns is supposed to be excruciating.
It's the fucking worst thing ever. Well, for me too. I mean, I don't think you guys ever think about being burnt. I know I didn't. Right. I would just be like, I don't know. I just never think about fire until you're on fire, and then you're like, oh shit, and then the treatments afterwards to like do everything, like they would put me in this big pan that was literally about as big as this table with different people all around you, and they would scrape all my burns with a metal brush to get rid of all the infection. Because I basically, when I jumped through the emergency exit, when I opened the emergency exit before the plane blew up, I was in such a hurry to get out of the plane and exit the plane. I jumped right into the jet, which is full of fuel. So my whole body lit up, So I had jet fuel just in my whole body. Like I burped jet fuel for almost like 3 months.
Oh God.
So they had that was the main thing to get rid of the infection, is they scrub you with a metal brush to get rid of all of it and all of the dead skin. And then I did about 30 surgeries to repair everything, like skin graft surgeries. They saved my foot because at one point they were going to amputate my right foot.
Oh.
Yeah, it was wild. I have
it
pictures
was
from
that
it.
burnt that they were going to have to amputate it?
My right foot almost didn't make it.
Was it because the way it was necrosis, or like what was going on that they were going to amputate it?
I think because that was the thing that was most soaked was my shoes and socks when I jumped into the jets, And I had done I had exited the plane. I had started running. I had started ripping off my clothes. Just that's what my instinct told me, is just get rid of everything. But little did I know I would still be on fire because the jet fuel was, I was soaked in it. So I'm actually running towards a highway. A highway's right on the side of me. And I just hear some guy yell stop, drop, and roll. And it just I heard it out of all this chaos of every sirens and everything. And I stopped, drop, and rolled. And the only thing that was still on fire was my feet. And AM came and patted them out. So I think they were on fire the longest too. So still, I think my right foot is probably over 50% of it's a graft.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. But that was I never, like I said, I never even thought about it. It's not something you think about until it happens to you. But being burnt is it's.
My right arm, I have a tattoo of Miyamoto Musashi, because I read a quote when I was 16 years old, when I was doing martial arts. I read the Book of Five Rings, and this is. That's Miyamoto Musashi on my right arm. And he wrote this book, The Book of Five Rings, which was a book on strategy. And Miyamoto Musashi was a samurai who killed 62 men in one-on-one combat. And he wrote this quote, wrote this incredible book about it. But one of the things he wrote in the book was, once you understand the way broadly, you can see it in all things. And I think that all difficult things are development. They aid you in developing your human potential. And you find a way to get out of your own way by getting good at all kinds of things. You cut through the bullshit. You think you're great at skateboarding? No, you're not. You suck at it. You got to get better at it. And the only way to get better at it is to practice it until you get better at it. And then you find that way. And in that way of getting better at that, you could apply that to playing the piano. You could apply that to playing chess.
Everything.
You could apply that to everything. And that's why I have this tattoo. That's what it means to me. It's like this idea is that difficult things are tools. They're tools to maximize the way your mind interacts with life.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius.
Yes.
And so I want to, can we veer to that for a second?
Sure, please.
So in the next book that I'm doing, The Recipe for the Good Life, of course, I get into the history of all sorts of cultures that have explored the good life. It's not as though I'm the first guy to write about this. Probably one of the topics that's been most written about. None have been as prolific as the ancient Greeks. And so when I saw your thing about Marcus Aurelius, I was about to write you to say, well, I've come to that same realization because, so as I was doing my research for the book, every time I would get an insight that I thought was original to me, I'd say, that fucker Epictetus has already said it 2,000 years ago.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
crazy.
so it reminds me, and I want to give him kudos on the show. So do you know who Nassim Taleb is?
Sure.
Yeah, so Nassim is a good friend of mine. He's a fellow Lebanese. And so many years ago, he was kind of egging me, teasing me, saying, I don't really understand what you study in psychology, Gad. Everything that there is to know about psychology and human nature, the ancient Greeks have already covered it. And so I mean, he was just egging me on. But then many years later, as I'm preparing for this book, I'm like, I think he might be right. We might be empirically validating what they've already philosophized. But so your post about Marcus Aurelius really resonated with me at exactly that same moment.
It's quite fascinating when you read his writings.
It's unbelievable.
Because he was so wise, and his decisions for what he would concentrate on and not concentrate on, and how he would accept people's flaws and mistakes that they'd made as if they had never made them, and this just approach to Stoicism and his philosophy on life. The Greeks and the Romans, and if you look at the history of these ancient civilizations that dominated the world at that period of time, and we can get a kind of an understanding of how they thought about things. It's, to me, one of the more amazing things about history is to peer into it's almost like we have a little bit of a time machine, to peer into the mindset of these people that were so wise thousands and thousands of years ago, and that their words are applicable today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that speaks to the universality of the human condition, right? So I always tell my students when I'm teaching about evolutionary theory, I say, look, you can use cultural products as fossils of the human mind, right? The human mind doesn't fossilize, but the products that is left from human minds, we can study its contents in the same way that paleontologist studies fossil remains. So I can connect to the mind of an ancient Greek poet and understand what he's talking about as though he's speaking today, because the software that's running his mind and mine is identical. He doesn't know what an iPhone is. He doesn't know what a podcast is, but he knows about sexual longing. He knows about paternity uncertainty. He knows about sibling rivalry. Those are the universal themes that are invariant across time and place. And so one of the things that I love about being an author is that I get to be connected through ideas with all of these immortal souls, And so it's really a beautiful thing to write and to create, and that the fact that I independently thought of something that Epictetus thought 2,000 years ago connects me with him.
Yes, true.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
I got some photos of wolves. Did you see those wolves out there?
Oh, I saw those wolves.
Crazy, right?
I have wolf paw tattoo on my side.
Do you really?
Yeah.
How much do you regret that? A lot or really a lot?
I love them. But people are always like, they're like, are those cat paws? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. That fits too.
Yeah, whatever. That's a weird one, the dog paw tattoo. That's a common weird one.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. It's like barbed wire.
Oh yeah, I love a good barbed wire tattoo. You got any barbed wire?
No, I got 2 sleeves though.
Yeah,
Both these arms are sleeved.
Yeah,
but it's all traditional. Well, it's not really traditional Japanese stuff, but it's like Japanese new style American stuff. Oh. Yeah. No paws.
No paws.
Not that I wouldn't have got one. I'm lucky I didn't get a tattoo until I was like 25, and I didn't get sleeved till I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
Because I would have made some shit choices.
That should be a 30s decision.
Oh, God. I see these kids today. They're fucking 18. They got face tattoos. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Slow down.
It's such a fun decision to make for your whole life.
Like Post Malone. That kid's talented as fuck. Really talented.
Yeah.
But always tired? You tattooed always tired on your face?
Every time I see a picture of him, I get angry. I just want to be like, I don't spend a ton of time in hair and makeup, but anytime I have something, there's at least a little hair and makeup. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, why can't we just be that? Like,
well, I think what he's doing and what a lot of people are doing is that they're like going way overboard to not give a fuck. Just like scribbling on their face.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you see the Lizzo thing from the Lakers game last night?
No, did you feel that? Oh, I thought it was
happens all the time. I do too.
I panicked.
I've never been here for an earthquake.
Oh, we're due. We're due for a big one.
Oh, that's what everyone keeps saying.
To see how many more people have tattoos today.
How long you had your tattoos? A while?
Well, I had one on my shoulder forever. I got one when I think I was like 23 or 4 or something like that.
That was rebellious back then.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, I'm going crazy. It was something I drew too. And my friend Tommy Jr. had gone to this guy already, Danny Williams in Connecticut. He was a really good artist, man. This guy was a really good artist, big biker looking dude. But
that's who you trusted with your tattoos back then.
He was a wicked artist. You know, he was like, it's like back then, tattoos as an art form was way more obscure. Like now I think people know like Kat Von D.
Right.
They recognize these like celebrity tattoo artists like Ed Hardy came out with the line of clothing. Like Ed Hardy was like a world famous tattoo guy, like way back in the day. Like there's a whole style of tattoos that people associate with Ed Hardy. But there was only a few other ones. And now it's like they have all these magazines and TV shows. And
Man.
the guy that did me, Aaron Delavadova, is fucking awesome. He's down in San Diego at Guru Tattoo. And it's, he's like he's a good friend. Like, I really love that
that's dope.
guy. And it's like, he's a cool guy to talk to, which is like, I think important if you want to have someone draw on you for the rest of your life.
That's funny.
You know what I mean?
They have the hairdresser barbershop style,
Yeah.
conversations when you go in there to get the tats.
Yeah. Well, you
The
do. You get to
relationship,
learn about a guy. You'll get to have like these deep conversations.
Right.
Like Aaron and I, we talked for like 45 hours on my right arm and like probably like 60 hours on my left arm. It's a lot of just talking.
That's a lot of talking.
Sometimes we don't really talk though, because sometimes he's just deep into it, and I'll just like watch I was watching. That's where I watched like most of Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Well,
for real?
season 1 and season 2. I was
Oh,
watching.
shit, that's funny as
Getting
shit.
tattooed.
That's like the perfect show to watch if you're getting a tattoo. To be honest.
Yeah.
That's good mood music. You know what I'm saying? Watching
Yeah.
Breaking Bad and getting a tattoo.
It's almost like the pain of the tattoo accentuates the show.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
show is so chaotic and fucked up.
Yeah.
It's almost like better while someone's drilling on your elbow with the tattoo needle.
Damn, when you said elbow and needle. That,
Yeah.
I felt that.
You feel it.
Yeah.
That's a rough spot. The inside of the elbow, right here, that's a really rough spot.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that the closer it gets to your chest, it's a really rough spot. Like you're like, whoa. Different spots have different levels of pain that you experience
Shit.
from. It's very strange. Like your shoulder,
Nothing.
you could draw on me all day on my shoulder. I fall asleep. Like, I'm not kidding. It's weird. Like the shoulder just doesn't seem to hurt.
Yeah.
But you get down to like some area, the inside of the arm. Yeah, ha, ha. It's like a different feeling. I guess the nerves are closer. Like anywhere that's got more meat on it is like protected more from the I don't know. It doesn't make
That's
sense.
funny though. No, it's like you're finding out shit about your body.
Yeah.
While you're getting tattooed.